Saturday morning and I had an astonishing night's sleep last night, which has left me feeling much better. But we've been in the Montes now for just over a week and it's been amazing. We've had a few missions on land in the wheelbarrow and we've had a lightning storm. We've since moved bays as well. Still no luck on the turtles, unfortunately, but we're going to keep working on that. And this is what the first week back in the Montes has looked like. Dive and it's absolutely howling, but I mean, beautiful where the boat's parked. I shot a little mangrove jack and my mate we went diving with, he got a great big coral trout, but then he also got a big spango, so he gave me the trout. We usually try and leave them for the end of the dive because there's just so many. Like, I'd rather, you know, shoot different kinds of fish. But it is what it is, and it saved me going and spearing another one, so I'm just going to fillet them up and we're going to eat them for lunch. I'm going to have some fish mashed potato, I think that sounds great. Isla, come here, come here. Alright, dinner's sorted, I've cleaned up. Everyone's ready for bed and we're gonna go, I've got the red light and we're gonna go down to the beach and see if we can find some turtles. Hopefully we can spot a few in the dark. Oh, there we go. Alright, so we've done one part of the beach and then we realised that the dinghy was getting dried out, so I just chucked that a bit further out as the tide's going out.
I found a sea slug.
Amazing.
Sea slug.
Do you reckon we're going to see some turtles?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I would.
He's got sleepy eyes, look.
So shine bright, smile like good kitty.
any luck finding turtles last night. We're going to go and check the beach this morning and see if we can't find any stragglers. Think you can find turtle, girls?
Yeah, I'm gonna find one.
Turtle time?
This is unicorn, and guess what? She was stinky before, now I made her stop lovely.
Oh, that's awesome, Hallie.
Had lovely smelling swag.
Beautiful. Let's go check the beach anyway. Go, girls, go! Come on. That's up. Whoosh. Whoosh. Go, 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 go. That's good running. What did you find, Hallie?
Oh, a ghost crab.
You just catch him with your bare hands.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's got a very good spot to catch them with, see?
That's
Yeah.
a really good spot, isn't it?
And so the nippers don't get you.
And look, oh, I was drawing circles again.
Whoa, good job, Isla.
Good job, Isla.
Without talk. I'll put the crab down and put the other hole.
Yep. Oh, there you go. We're not having much luck. We're finding a whole lot of crab trails, crab tracks, not a whole lot of much else. I don't think these turtles are actually catching yet. Hole after hole after hole. And when we were here last, this whole beach was dug up and all the dirt's just settled. Like, there'd be, if they were hatching already, there would be some, you'd be able to see where they dug out of their hole and moved down the beach, at least to some extent. But everything's flattened right off. But there's hundreds and hundreds of turtle nests here, all on top of each other. I just think if they were hatching already, they'd be out in numbers. So we might just be a tad early.
I'm collecting this stuff that shouldn't be on the beach that the turtles can't eat, so I'm getting it off the beach.
Yeah, good job. Oh, the moo. Are you a turtle?
Oh, yeah.
Ah. Come. Let's go check another beach. Someone's been hatching at least. So that first beach where we're anchored up is Whiskey Bay, and we checked the next beach over, which I'm not sure what it is. And now we're in Stout, and you can anchor in both Stout and Whiskey, and Whiskey is just freaking paradise on earth. Well, our hunt for turtles continues. We didn't find any. So somehow I'm going to have to come up with the goods, and I promise these girls turtles, I'm going to give them some damn turtles. But that's all the beaches for this morning, so worst case we're going to have to head up to Pit Point and check it out there. Good job, girls. Oh, look, Bommy down there. Hey, Bommy. Well, I've got to clean the bottom of the boat, I may do. Amazing job, Isla. was absolutely howling its teats off. It was supposed to only be about 4 knots all night, and I think it's probably blowing about 35. And fortunately, we've actually moved back behind the protection of a rock cliff face that sort of just poking out around the side of it. So as rough as it is now, it's not as bad as it could have been. But I can't believe the girls are still asleep. The rain just started hitting, the lightning's overhead. So I came inside. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little concerned about a lightning strike, but the bulk of it's still away from us. It's just rough as hell. So luckily I've got a ton of anchor chain out, and it's a very nice sandy bay. It's just going to be a waiting game as usual. Well, last night we got absolutely shit mixed. There was nothing on the forecast, and we had a thunderstorm roll in, and our friends, because we don't actually have a wind gauge on our boat, but our friends do, and it got to 56 knots out of the blue, up from 2 knots. It was supposed to be a lovely quiet night, so I spent most of it awake, and it swung us right out to sea, so we were facing the east, which we were totally exposed, but luckily before the actual thunderstorm hit, we managed to swing a little bit more to the south west, which gave us protection from that little that rocky outcrop there, just a little bit, not much. It was all still coming straight in, and it was horrendous. So currently we have wind coming in from the bow of the boat from the west, and the swell is coming in from the east, which is a peculiar thing. I pulled the anchor up and dropped us further out, and then once the tide comes up, we're going to go over and head to Mansion Bay where our friends are parked up, and we'll be a lot more protected there. We've also got some strong southerlies, so that'll give us a bit of protection from that too. So might hang out there a week and see how we feel, and then slowly mosey on up to Pit Point. I think there's not enough caffeine in the world to pull me out of this one, so I'm just going to have to struggle through it, I think. So we got sick of being punched up in Whiskey Bay, and we're heading around to Mansion Bay, or at least we've headed as far as we can. We're just waiting for the tide to come up, so I've chucked the anchor down and we're just in beautiful pristine water, and I'm going to throw the drone up and have a fly around. There's a little bit of wind, but hopefully the drone can cope with it. It's only a little cheapy. We'll see how we go. We're just back from our dive. We got ourselves, I speared this great big fat, great big fat coral trout. Beautiful, and that's a nice little headshot there. And a cheeky little barramundi cod, because barramundi cods are one of my favourite fish.
And you got one of these.
Hang on. And a little barramundi cod, because barramundi cod are one of my favourite fish to eat. They're delicioso.
And look what else he got. He got this.
And some fish shoes. Honestly, I'm feeling so good. We're in a nice, wicked new bay. It's super safe. We've got plenty of water. I went for a dive in a long sleeve shirt instead of a wetty. It's just feeling very, very free right now, and the diving's good. I'm tired. I've done my weights. I think everything's been fulfilled at the moment. We just had the barramundi cod, the girls had that, and that is the coral trout. We had a really good day, really good afternoon. But honestly, sometimes the girls just go freaking nuts at dinner time, and it is so hard. It's so hard I could just about cry. So I don't know what the resolution is there. Just get them fed as soon as possible. I think I've stretched it between meals, I don't know, but I'm sure there's a lot of parents that can relate to the very sound of their voices is like sandpaper against my brain. Safe to say, I think it's time everyone had an early night's sleep tonight. But on the bright side, it's cool enough here in the Montes I can actually cook inside again. And I was going to do rice for dinner, but I gave up. So everyone's just having fish, and there is nothing wrong with that. So we've eaten the barramundi, we're having ourselves the coral trout, and the girls actually seem to have leveled out since they've had some dinner, to some extent. And at the end of the day, we're in an absolutely spectacular spot. And I'm going to put the drone up to have a look because it is magic and the wind is behaving itself, so that's something we can all enjoy.